Welcome. Let me call the first meeting of the new school year to order. As you'll notice, we are back here in a person meeting rather than a total Zoom meeting. Although this is a hybrid, we have the capacity for everyone to join us via Zoom. But we are now back in person here. So welcome to the 22-23 school year. And let me begin with a roll call. Trustee Griffin.
Present.
Trustee Zuniga.
Present.
Okay. Trustee Land.
Present.
Trustee Dwyer.
Present.
And I am present. So if we could have our new superintendent lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand with me. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let me make a couple of announcements, a few announcements here this evening. We do have our Spanish interpreter for the meeting this evening, Enrique Montalva. For those of who would like to attend the meeting virtually in Spanish, that option is available. Enrique, would you please communicate that for us this evening?
Buenas tardes, tenemos a nuestro intérprete de español para la reunión de esta noche. Para aquellos de ustedes que quieran asistir a la reunión en español, esta opción está disponible. Gracias.
Thank you. If you wish to
Si desea ver,
if you wish to view closed captions of this meeting, please view the meeting on the San Mateo Union High School District board meeting YouTube channel. The link to the YouTube channel can be found on our website. You may view the captions in English as we stream our meeting tonight, and you may view the captions in a variety of other languages if you choose to watch this after the meeting has ended. Viewers can request additional accommodations by calling 650-558-2201. In closed session this evening, the board took several actions. In a special ed settlement, in closed session, the board, upon the motion of Trustee Elise Dwyer and seconded by Trustee Land, moved to approve 4 special ed settlements by a vote of 5-0. We approved a re-entry of a student in closed session upon the motion of Elise Dwyer and seconded by Trustee Land. Approved that re-entry of 1 student by a vote of 5-0. In closed session, the board, upon the motion of Trustee Elise Dwyer and seconded by Trustee Land, moved to approve a settlement agreement 001-22-23 with a vote of 5-0. And I believe that is that covers our action in closed session. Let's move to public and governing board comments. If you are joining us in person and wish to make a comment about an agenda item or during this public comment section at the beginning of the agenda, please fill out a request to address the board form and submit it to the secretary. This form should be given to the secretary before the agenda item begins. If you are joining us virtually, use the raised hand feature on Zoom to be recognized. When invited to do so by the board president for each item on which you wish to comment, you'll be admitted to speak as a panelist during your public comment period. The board president will call on you. Please note that comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public comment, depending upon the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. So do we have any public comments this evening on non-agenda items at this time? Okay. Let me move to governing board comments. Are there any governing board comments this evening? Mr. Griffin?
Just a couple of quick items, and one of them goes all the way back to last semester in the Black Parent Association graduation. And, you know, it's been online, and one of the things that I missed was, you know, we went to graduations and we had a lot of contact last year, but I sure hope that the Black parents are able to undo the, you know, it's a very slick production and it's got a lot of graphics and a lot of high profile people. But it doesn't, we don't have any opportunity to interact with the students. And I really missed that as part of, you know, the event, because I think that's part of the thing that makes each of these, you know, things special. So, and I did get to the orientation. I got to meet some new teachers, new employees, and talk to them. Fortunately, I only had to stay for the icebreaker because I had a dental appointment, but I did enjoy mixing it up. That was my first foray into the you know, the general population. So that's my report.
Trustee Zuniga?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, President Hanley. I just want to say welcome back, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. And I wanted to first acknowledge the land that we're on, which is the original territory of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. I also wanted to talk about, I just wanted to briefly encourage people to please continue to wear your masks. Please get vaccinated. I'm not, as you all know, I'm a big proponent for wearing masks, and I'm not in agreement with the strongly recommended stance, but that's why I'm encouraging people. I am not on camera. As everyone may or may not know, I'm a person with a disability and I employ people to help me in my home. Currently, my care provider contracted COVID. And so that significantly affects my life because now I can't participate physically in pretty much anything or do stuff at home. And I'm not the only one. And there's people in our community, in our school communities, that have parents at home, grandparents at home that might be compromised, young children that are not vaccinated. Our teachers are in classrooms with our students for long periods of time. So I just really encourage people to wear your masks and to vaccinate if you have not done so. I also wanted to acknowledge that July was Disability Pride Month, as well as the 32nd anniversary of the ADA. I took a really great webinar last month talking about accessibility and what the ADA means to people, what type of barriers it took down. However, somebody did describe it very well. And yeah, although the ADA does ensure that we have access to things, it's still not completely, it's still not completely taken into consideration for things. There's still a lot of inaccessibility. Somebody described it as, say, you know, you do have access to a restaurant, but you can't afford things on the menu. So it's things like that. It's like that type of analogy. So one of the things, a few of the things that the disability justice community is changing, and how they, especially with meetings and how they conduct themselves, being accessible to the public is now describing images on slides, giving brief image descriptions of the people who are speaking, using ASL and closed captioning within meetings, things like that. I also wanted to acknowledge that on our agendas, now it's, up front that people can access, whether it be language interpretation or any sort of disability related accommodation for our meetings. So please take advantage of that if you need. I also wanted to quickly just mention that there is a great counseling service housed in Redwood City called One Life or Una Vida that recently started a new program for the Latinx community and addressing specific mental health needs, although they're not just for the Latino community, it's also just in general, and they are either take private insurance or a sliding scale, or they also take Medi-Cal. So that's great. The ACLU is also looking for youth to serve on the youth advisory group. And I'm also encouraging parents and our board to also join the San Mateo County Board of Education meetings. There's a lot of great information. There is a student that recently passed away from our Mills High School community. They graduated in 2021. And I encourage all of the staff in our district when it comes to things like this or anything else to utilize our EAP. The Employee Assistance Program is a great resource for a lot of different services. So please, please take advantage of that. And I'm also holding office hours on Saturdays from 1 to 3. You can email me at l.andrade.zuniga@smuhsd.org. If there's anything that you need me to advocate for or that you want to discuss. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Trustee Land.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I just want to say it really is great to see everyone live again. At least I know we still need to be cautious, but it's also good to try to get normalized in what we're doing here. So it's nice to see everyone again. Last week, I met with, so one of my other roles is I'm president of the San Mateo California School Boards Association. So I'm encouraging our fellow board members to get involved. We are talking about bringing things back live, having lunches, having socials again to come back and network. One of the things that I met with our public affairs community engagement person, Marty, we were talking about trying to get, CSBA, the California Schools Boards Association, is trying to make sure everybody understands what the role of a school board trustee does and encourage them to run. So we're trying to do some publicity about that. I know that is particularly relevant for us for the upcoming election, as we are not all full in our trustee areas. I think we're still missing in one area. So, but it is nice to see that some people are returning. So that's nice to see as well. So anyway, just encouraging us to get involved in the San Mateo California School Boards Association and what we do. So thank you.
Trustee Dwyer.
Okay, I think I'm allergic to this mask. I picked it up at the entry and I wasn't congested and I have this dust allergy. So I think our masks have some dust on them, but that's how life is. It's great to be back and I welcome our new superintendent. And I know he's been a very busy person, as I have read in his weeklies. He's been everywhere. So I hope he'll be able to slow down now that school has started a bit. I agree with Trustee Griffin about the Black Baccalaureate. It's such a wonderful experience in person, and it's so meaningful to the students and families, and to watch it on Zoom. It's very well done, but it's just not the same. So I hope it comes back. I think it's a very significant service. I went to the administrators retreat dinner, and I have to say, okay, I sat with the facilities managers, and they were so enthused and so energetic, and they were so proud to be called educators, to be included as educators. And one of them even said to me, I won't tell you his name, that when he encourages a student to use the compost bin or the recycle bin, he's doing that as an educator, and he intends to approach them as an educator would. And I thought, wow, this is our new superintendent's idea. And I think that already we're seeing people who are engaging in a new way, then because they're seeing themselves differently. So I hope that all of our principals and administrators see that at their sites. I went to the new teacher orientation. They look like children. They are also young and enthused, most of them, I guess. They were all enthused. They weren't all young, but there was so much energy in that room, and they were so interested and so engaged. And I felt like that's so good for us to have that new energy and having coming into your schools and working with the administrators. And I'm actually looking at the administrators. So that's kind of why I'm directing some of this toward them. I also went to the welcome back to everyone out at the field here at San Mateo. And even though it was really cold, I think people were pretty enthusiastic to be there. And thanks to Shar for muffins and enough hot coffee to keep everyone warm. And that was really nicely done. And we were able, it was, I think the energy there too, as people re-engaged with their peers and others, and how they were able to be together in person, was really exciting. And to listen to them catch up, because I'm just sitting in the bleachers there when they don't know who I am. So it was quite nice to sit and listen to all them. So we're off to a great start. I have to say to the new principal at Burlingame that you may see me because I run at your track. And I will say that over the summer, I saw there was so much work done. I can only report on the one site that I was at San Mateo, but not as much. But at Burlingame, there were people working, I don't want to say day and night, but the staff, all of the educators that we have out there were constantly working, and all of the construction people were really working. And so when you're out there just casually, they don't know you, and you see them and everyone's so busy and engaged. And I hope that as much work as possible was completed. I can tell you that there was so much effort put into it. And at the end, right before school started, the staff out there just worked like crazy to get it all cleaned up and ready for the students. So it was really nice to see all of the work that was done to prepare to open school. And that's it. Thank you.
I just have a few comments. I was able to attend the new teacher orientation, which I agree was a high energy event. I thought it went very, very well. I was just there for the opening part, but there was a lot of enthusiasm there, and so I was very pleased to be able to participate. And Superintendent Booker made some very encouraging remarks for everybody to get it off to a good start. And he and I both participated in the adult school graduation in July. And there's always great human interest stories at adult school graduations, and there were some terrific ones this year of people who have really persisted and endured and made it through, and are going to go on to some great things in their lives. And so those are always moving occasions. So that was a good thing in the middle of summer, and probably one of the first things that the superintendent did when he took over. So I want to make sure that I recognize all the work that he's already done in getting started here and really orienting himself to the district, because I know he's really thrown himself into getting acquainted with everybody and starting climbing the steep ladder of learning everything about this very complex district. I want to encourage everybody to really take care of themselves. I think I hope people will wear masks, particularly indoors in classrooms. I think we have a huge task in front of us. I think a lot of students are behind. A lot of students need a lot of attention and work to get caught up after the last 2 years of COVID. And when school was, closed down in an extraordinarily different order than it has been. San Mateo County is in the red zone. There's a lot of COVID around. We can't, we need to minimize the number of people that are out for 5 to 10 days. And I mean, both the number of staff that are out for 5 to 10 days, because substitutes are both in rare supply, and a substitute just can't do the same level of work that the regular teachers can bring to their students. And we can't have students missing 5 to 10 days of classes. We're just have too many students that need to be in class. And so we can't have students getting sick and being out 5 to 10 days in the fall. And so I really encourage people to take care of themselves, minimize the risk that they incur. And so I hope people will do that and be smart about the way they look after themselves and look after their health, because it's extremely important in the education field, especially right now. We have a lot of work to do, and it's important that we have all of our resources available to get it done. So moving on, consent agenda.
I
Or-
move approval.
Second.
Okay,
I've read every item on it, so I can tell you that it's
I
all
actually read all of them too. So we have a motion and a second.
I have a question. I have a
yes.
question. There are duplicate amounts on the contracts, and that information is all redacted. And what is that? I mean, I know we don't identify people. I could not identify. So that is, in fact, those amounts belong there. Okay. Thank you. That's my question.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by trustee Dwyer, a second by trustee Land. I take it nobody wanted to pull anything. We made a motion before I even asked the question. Okay. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Zuniga,
Aye.
trustee Land,
Aye.
trustee Dwyer,
yes.
and I vote aye also. So consent agenda is approved.
One thing it's not going to change the vote, but I did notice a typo on whatever item 5 in the
Item
contract.
5.
So
There was some work actually done by Mr. Black after that.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So moving to section K, regular reports. Report of the superintendent.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor and a privilege to be here. I want to welcome everyone, especially those in our audience, our first in-person board meeting, and from what I understand, in a couple of years. So this is something to celebrate for sure. I think it makes a statement to our students, our educators, our community, that yes, we take COVID seriously and we'll be paying attention and be smart about it. But at the same time, education is a priority. And as Trustee Hanley said earlier, we've got students that are behind, that have needs. We want to address those needs as forcefully as we can. I just want to say a few things about my first few weeks of being here in San Mateo. I have felt incredibly welcomed. It's been amazing. This is an extremely special community. Yes, I've met a lot of people. It's been a lot of meetings. Whether it's construction projects and taking tours, learning about our equity policies, working through human resources, and the list goes on and on. So many different departments and so many special people. That's the thing. This place is filled with special people. And I have felt it from the day that I got here. We have an incredible team of educators. I want to start with our district office team and our district office staff. Everyone within this building as educators, they are amazing. They stop and will talk and ask questions and how are you doing, and just really special. And then to our team of principals that are here in the audience and directors, managers and assistant principals who are at home. Great leadership group. There is so much work that goes into the first day of school, and I was able to with Ms. Aquino here and Ms. Chalkley, we were able to go visit every single school site on the first day. You are all rock stars. Like, the first day was awesome. It was smooth and calm and collected, and the thing that I noticed the most was how many adults were out and about on your campus, just standing and helping kids. And what was even equally as remarkable was watching kids so readily go up to adults and ask for help. It speaks so much to the culture at your school sites. And that's not something that just happens. That's grown and cultivated over time through your leadership. So I just want to say thank you to all of you here tonight. It was a remarkable first day of school. We had new teacher orientation, as we talked about. That was so much fun, a lot of energy. We had our admin retreat, which was a whole bunch of fun, gave me the opportunity to meet people and dive a little deeper. We had our welcome back day out on San Mateo High football stadium, which was just a treat to be able to address so many people, all of our educators across the district in one space. Professional development that staff went through on that day, all leading up to our first day of school. And here we are in our second day of school, and we're off to the races, right? And this is why we're all here. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the initiatives that the board has set forth. I'm grateful for our team of educators in what I know is going to be an incredible school year. So I'm looking forward to what comes ahead. I know there's going to be a lot. And at the same time, it's not necessarily a sprint, it's a marathon. We have a lot of work to do. We have time to do it. And at the same time, we need to balance that with what I said during our welcome back day, which is when we look at our freshmen right now, we have 4 years to change their lives, to impact, improve, and inspire them. And 4 years can go by very, very quickly. So yes, we have time, but at the same time, we have a lot of conviction to inspire and improve and impact their lives. So thank you. And I look forward to continuing to meet so many people, because it's a big community, but I'm grateful for the community. So I think I'm going to introduce our District Teachers Association representative is next. Am I right? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I skipped over that. I apologize. Yep. I apologize. I skipped over my page of notes. Yeah. So what's fantastic is we've got our principals here today. Remember, I get one screw up, right? I got one during the welcome back day. I get one now. I'm only turning like super bright red. Thank you. See, I'm modeling this for our students. It's okay to make mistakes, right? So we have each of our site principals here to give kind of a brief update on our first day. And rather than hear from me, and I thought it'd be way better to hear from them and their experiences. And we're going to just go in alphabetical order here. From Aragon is Valerie Arbizu. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening. President Hanley, trustees, Mr. Booker, and our cabinet members and folks in the audience, both here and at home. My name is Valerie Arbizu. This is my third year as the principal at Aragon High School. And this is the first board meeting I've been able to present to live since taking over that role. So, hey, I could not be more excited to be here tonight to talk about the first few days of the school year. Going into summer, we were a little wary of what construction was going to look like, what we were going to find when we came back in July and the very beginning of August. We all know how construction projects can go sideways when you're not, right there and on it. But our folks from Greystone and BHM were amazing. They were able to finish more than they thought they were going to be able to. They left the campus super clean, really spiffy, and ready for our kids when we came back. So they were on campus until Friday, August 5th. And that was when we were able to host part of our freshman orientation down at the theater because we couldn't show them all of their classrooms. So you're flexible in this time, in this day and age, and we've gotten really used to that. And I think pretty good at it. So we started with freshman orientation in the theater on Friday, and then we finished that up yesterday in the morning on the first day of school. So we had all of our 10s, 11s, and 12s come a little bit later so we could continue working with our freshmen, give them their schedules, show them around campus with our link crew leaders. And everyone was so excited to come back. Lots of smiles, lots of kids seeing each other for the first time in a while since they all went away and had a rejuvenating summer. But before we were able to get everything up and going, I need to shout out also to our facilities team, to our teachers, to my classified staff who worked so incredibly hard to make sure that everything was ready to roll. Our facilities team was on our campus this last Saturday and Sunday to help teachers be able to get back into their classrooms because Saturday was the first day our teachers had to access their spaces. So it was amazing. We had at least 35 teachers there on Saturday, another 30 there on Sunday, our entire facilities team, both of those days, getting everything up and ready and rolling and smiling the whole time. So I cannot stress how positive everyone has been. I think I also need to mention how excited folks were after our initial conversation on Monday out here at San Mateo on the field. Our staff was really excited to listen to Mr. Booker and your message, and they were really happy with, how deep and personal you went, and they feel like they know you, and they're looking forward to getting to know you better. So we walked into all of our professional development on Monday afternoon, and then our staff meeting on Tuesday with a really solid sense of positivity and knowing where we were going, but also knowing that if things need to pivot a little bit, we know how to do hard things. So when we welcomed kids back, we saw a lot of kids with masks, some kids without masks. We just kept rolling and they're doing their thing and they kept doing it again today. So off to a fantastic start. Thank you.
Thanks, Valerie. Up next from Burlingame, Jen Fong.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Jen Fong. I am the new principal of Burlingame and new to this district. So thank you for your warm welcome. I probably could have said the same things that Aragon and Principal Arbizu just said about her school because we were also under construction. And as Trustee Lees Dwyer mentioned, people were working very hard over the summer and including until midnight on Saturday and most of Sunday so that we could open. And I will say that the opening week at Burlingame has been fantastic. On Wednesday, the band greeted all of the students out in the quad. The two Panthers mascots waved hello at the front of the school, and I took my first picture with the Panthers, and I wanted to show it, but I'll have to show that at another time. And the cheer team, they strutted their stuff and showed off their vocal cords. It was just an incredible way to start the morning with such energy. And the students and myself, we wore a sea of red to display our Panther pride, as is tradition on the first day of school. So students and staff made a commitment to building community and focus on belonging this year. I was thinking about a B word, and that's what I asked the community to do, is B for belonging. And the rooms were full of smiles and enthusiasm. And I can speak firsthand to the warm welcome to the new members of the Burlingame community by everyone. From our parents to our students and our staff. Our Panther Pals led an outstanding orientation on Thursday, last Thursday with our 9th graders. and the faculty engaged in team building with our nearly 20 new staff members on Monday. So following the superintendent's example of why, I framed my opening professional development session with my why as a person of color, as a female, and the importance of being a public school educator. And this grounded our professional learning in diversity, equity, and inclusion for the year. So in 2 short days, I visited most classrooms, and that's really helped me learn the teacher's name because I could see the name on the door and then go in and connect that. And I saw many common practices in place across the different subjects. I also met many of the athletic teams who are already actively underway with tryouts and with practice. And I believe this is going to be an amazing school year. So go Panthers.
Thanks, Jen. Next up from the Bridge program, Samia Shoman.
Good evening. It is also exciting to be back in person. We started this year welcoming 40 students at the Bridge program, many who are returning and will add to our number of hopeful graduates this year. We're in our 6th year, and we haven't expanded in a way we would never have imagined. And I really want to thank the board, the cabinet, for supporting this program, which I feel like is almost starting to turn into a little school. We have expanded our staff. I have a fabulous staff, including adding a science and a PE class to our already English and math classes. We have beautiful new furniture. When our students walked in, they were like, whoa, and we have new technology coming. So again, thank you for that. So we spent our welcome back with staff really focusing in on our professional development of what it means to anchor our program, our curriculum, and our instruction in the In Lakesh poem I shared with you in the spring. I have postcards for you all. Put these on your desks. Trustee Andrade, I will send you yours. So we worked on that Monday afternoon. We worked on that with our students, really both reading the poem, but making meaning of it. And we did that by asking both our staff and students, what does acting, like in Lakesh, what does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And in debriefing, our students, many of them even knew, said, it feels like belonging, like being part of a small community, being accepted, having new opportunities, joyful, experiencing excitement, feels like a family, like brotherhood, being supported and respected. So that was really exciting for them. And then they wrote commitments. What are you going to do to act in this manner? And for us, this is the way we operate. This is the way we deal with, students that need a little bit of help, what our restorative justice really looks like. So we're excited about that. We are excited about our possibilities this year. We are poised to, continue to welcome the new students who are enrolling in our district. We are seeing trends very similar to last year. So I invite you all, when you get a chance, to stop by, meet the kids. I mean, seeing them come in, again, our returning kids and our kids that literally just arrived this summer, and having our veterans, right? I call them the veteranos, welcome the new kids. And, what country are you from? Oh, I'm from there too. What city? And make those connections has been really fun. So thank you.
Thank you. This is fantastic. Thank you. Next up from Cappuccino, Jose Gomez.
Good evening. This is my first board meeting, so bear with me. Good evening, Jose Gomez, proud principal of Cappuccino High School. So I said that right and I didn't mess up, so good. Cappuccino has had a great August so far. And just like my students, I'm having a lot of first. The first parent night went well with over 250 freshman parents attending, which was great. But most importantly, we had a good turnout of our Latino speaking families using interpreters. So that was really promising. And then we also had our welcome day for our ninth graders, which was orientation to build community and relationship, which have been key and a common theme with our work this year. Especially during our professional development, I wanted to make sure they understood who I was as a new administrator, and also my goal and intention to make sure that I build community with the staff and the community that I'm serving and the students. The most exciting part was this week, having students come back on campus and really experiencing their energy and going into the classrooms and taking, teachers took a note of Mr. Booker's comments during our welcome as far as being intentional with community building and looking at all the different activities in those classrooms that students were just focusing on building a culture of belonging and building relationships with one another as well as the staff members. The one other piece that people are happy about is the progress on the construction projects, and students are eager and excited to run on those fields and practice on those fields. And we are excited as well to host events there. And then lastly, we just want to continue to build off the positive energy that the students are bringing and the staff are bringing to the start of the school year and continue building off that. So thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. From Hillsdale, Jeff Gilbert.
Good evening, President Hanley, members of the board, Superintendent Booker. This is my 18th year in administration at Hillsdale High School. It's nice to be back in person. Superintendent Booker talked about the idea of having 4 years with our students, and the frame that I've really been using with our staff this summer and then going into the years is maybe another way to think about it, is that we have 5,000 hours with our students. If you're in a sport or in a club, that means maybe 6,000 hours on our campus. That's a remarkable gift of time, and the fact that our parents allow us to be the stewards of their children during that time, and the responsibility that comes from that, and how we then ensure that that we are worth that time, that it's better to send your student to us than to plop them in front of a screen and have them answer questions or go through activities. And so we thought a lot about two words. The first is coherence, and how that we are in many ways ensuring that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, that instead of just bouncing from teacher to teacher to teacher, you're getting a common message, common language, and again, that common sense of community. We have been working really hard on that idea of common language around what we call a graduate profile, so that every teacher is teaching to the same end, that we name that, and that we have students understand the work that they're doing and why they're doing it. And in our advisory also, really intentional conversations this summer about the activities and experiences we want students to have through advisory. Given that common experience, we're also thinking deeply about how we provide individual what we call tier 2 or tier 3 interventions for students for whom the system isn't working. We've talked here about our Empowerment Through Action program, our Peace Pantry work that is really targeting, 10% of our population to create affinity groups and opportunities for them to flourish within the larger community. And finally, one of our teachers, Ed Kanda, who's coming back after a year of leave, in our first staff meeting, just stood up and reminded us we need to have fun this year. And that has really struck a chord with us. We, I'd say in construction, a little bit behind where we had hoped to be. We're still cleaning things up. I would just want to say I deeply appreciate both Greystone and the district, Yancey and the team. Even though some parts didn't get there on time, things happen. It's always been incredibly responsive for the needs of the school, and always sending the message that students come first. We also have hired a lot of people this year. We have 15 new or returning teachers and a number of additional staff. They are a really remarkable group. We're really, really excited about getting them into our community and then helping them become part of our school. And then the thank yous, I could go on for a long, long time, but like the other schools, we had staff on campus Saturday and Sunday cleaning our school up. We had a remarkable classified team working out of offices and rooms, that whatever we could find them over the summer to try to get the school ready. And they did a wonderful job. I can't thank them enough. Really, really excited about this coming school year.
Thanks, Jeff. From Middle College, Don Scatena.
Good evening. We have a brand new team at Middle College. We have a couple new members. So it was really exciting last week or earlier this week. It feels like it was a week ago. Yeah, we went over to Costa Noa. We had to do some team building ourselves, and we had a lot of work to do as a team. And so that's how we started our week, was Monday afternoon and into the evening, meeting at Costa Noa. We got a conference room there and did a lot of good team building ourselves. And that's great, because that's the type of work that we did with our students. So I got a, let's see, Wednesday morning, I got a text message from Greg Quigley. Greg Quigley was the principal for 18 years of Middle College. Text saying, congratulations, silver anniversary, 25th year of Middle College in our district.
Wow.
And so it is something I didn't really think about until you guys, we're gonna have to do something for that. 25 years. Some of you might have been here for when it begun. So we had 3 themes: transition, connection, and creation are the themes for Middle College this year. And we began with transition on Wednesday. Today was connection, and creation will be tomorrow and into next week. Understanding that the first 5 days are really, it's great. We have 5 days of building community. We've always done it this way. We start school 5 days before the college, and that's just so our days add up correctly. And the college starts on August 17th. Students start their college schedule, and then they start their high school class schedules. But it does give us 5 full days to do curriculum, but also to build connections and build community. And we really took advantage of that. For example, we introduced our staff by playing for them our favorite high school song, but the students had to guess who it was. So for example, mine was Pearl Jam. And I did jump off the stage like I was doing crowd surfing. And you missed that. I had done it about an hour before you showed up. And others did a variety of things, but it allowed us to introduce ourselves to the students and allowed us to have fun with the students and just be ourselves. Some other things that we're looking, then we get serious and we talk about push-pull factors of why to come into Middle College and how to take advantage of this opportunity. Students do goal setting. We did campus tours. We will highlight tomorrow will be creativity. We'll be doing the mural projects in the hallways and in the classrooms. And we have a muralist who's going to teach students how to do a good mural, and the students will be doing that. And then we do have an improv expert coming to do some show the students how to do improv later. And then we start getting more serious. Next week we start getting a little bit more serious. I have to have the dawn talk as an example about the rules and things like that. But it's exciting. We have a new program coordinator, Allison Block, who's doing a great job. And then the rest of the teaching staff and admin staff and counseling staff have been done great getting us ready for a start. And students are really excited. 3 absences out of 200 students, a little over 200 students. So we're really excited, and students seem excited too, because they're showing up. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed the stage dive. So good. From Mills, Pam Desninsky.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you the highlights from this week, which are many. And so I just wanted to echo what several people have said before. Just give a shout out to our amazing facilities team and our educators who did all the work they did getting campus ready for the launch of school, especially at Mills High School, where we had a very short window to prepare classrooms for teachers and students. So they are remarkable in every way. They do tough, heavy duty work, and I really just want to recognize and thank them for that. We really started on Monday Monday with Superintendent Booker setting the tone and encouraging us all to be grounded in our why for this work in this school year, and help us feel that interconnectedness with each other. And on Monday, we're joined by our classified staff and our instructional aides, who we don't frequently get an opportunity to spend the whole day with, to come together as a community and share our whys. And the administrators and the two new assistant principals were really able to articulate with our whole community about why we're pulled into this work, and how it relates to who we are and our identities and our histories as students and learners. And this year we have some really important lessons. Because we had a short timeline to get on campus, we had to think about how to do things differently. And we're learning that when we're pushed to think of how to do things differently, we come up with some really great practices to keep. And one of those practices is having our freshmen on campus during the first day of school and bringing them through orientation on that first day. It's a great example of tier 1 practice where all students are able to participate in building that community, getting to know the campus, having, reviewing expectations for the Viking way, how to be a Viking, and no student is left behind, and no student has to make the decision prior to school about whether to participate in freshman orientation or have to take care of a sibling and stay at home while the parent is still at work. So that is something we are definitely going to keep moving forward with, and make sure that all of our students have that strong sense of connection day one when they are new to our campus. And then our 10th through 12th graders also participated in a school-wide orientation and attended all classes yesterday. And so these are good examples of ways that when we are really forced to think outside of the box, we come up with great ways to transform the learning experiences for our students. I want to thank Superintendent Booker, Shar, and Laura for stopping by and coming into some classrooms for me. And what we saw in those classrooms in nearly every instance was teachers sharing with students first who they are and why they teach and what their why is for this work. And it was just really powerful way to begin to build that connection and relationship with students. And finally, just thank you to the amazing teachers at Mills High School who just had a very successful opening first day, and who did a lot of preparation this weekend and this week and throughout the summer, really, to make this a successful school year to start with. So thank you. And we hope you all come by soon to visit the campus, to see the improvements, and to come and join us in some classrooms.
Thanks, Pam. From Peninsula, Ron Campana.
Thank you, President Hanley, members of the board, Superintendent Booker, and District Cabinet. So this week has been really interesting, a lot of positives and one potential kind of low, which I'm going to speak to in a second. So Monday got off to a great start with, we started with the district, PD, and we, Superintendent Booker talked to everybody in the community. And so one of the two things my staff and a lot of people heard was talking about the why and also talking about a time for reset. So what came out from the speech and got back to me is that people started to figure out that, well, Superintendent Booker and I grew up together. And so one of the things that was interesting, and he mentioned also with my assistant principal, Fred Wolfgram, is that right in his speech, he transitioned and he talked about us. And the next thing he talked about bullies. And so my staff came back and I had members of the district who basically started going, why? Why were you a bully? And I said, reset. And so, anyway, that's not true. And I just, it was a great speech, but I had to put that there because I got people in the community that were like, oh, so you're the bully. All right. No. So we had a great, orientation back at our site. Caroline Weiscarver did a tremendous job. And, one of the things that also came out of Superintendent Booker's speech was this idea that we have 4 years to kind of get students and really to change their trajectory. And really for us at Peninsula, one of the things we talk about is we have one day. And what we mean by that is a lot of these kids are already set in their ways, and we have to make every opportunity count. So we look at that first interaction as the most important thing. And so our staff takes great pride in customer service, and we talked about revisiting that. We did a lot of work on revisiting our mission and vision, and not just with the staff, but again, how can we get our new students and our families involved? And so after we had our PD, we did our orientation that afternoon. It was very well received. We had a good attendance. We invited both our new and our returning students to attend. We talked a little bit about Yonder. We were brave and we tried to follow San Mateo High School's lead, and we're doing Yonder at Peninsula this year. And so we're going to see how it goes. But again, the goal of the staff, and it was this idea of how can we change the culture for a lot of these students and provide a safe place. And so we're excited about that. And we talked about safety protocols, and, you know, for the purpose of talking tonight, right now, I have my mask off, but you'd be surprised how many kids and staff wear the mask. And so far it's been really well received. Kids have been great. And we haven't seen a whole lot of problems in that regard. Today, we launched the Yonder pouches. We didn't do it till on the first day, and we expected a lot of backlash, but it was really interesting. You could tell which students had come from San Mateo High School and which ones had not. And so as far as the initial reaction, but it was well received. There wasn't any problems, and the kids went with the flow. And so, you know, a lot of it also we talked about as a staff, you got to model what you want. And so staff's really trying to put their phones away as well, because it's hard to ask a student to do something and not to model the same thing. And so the other thing we're really excited about is we have a leadership class that's on our campus. It's been a while since we've done it. We're hoping to kind of get that to really take hold this year, maybe eventually have one of our students at a board meeting, but we'll have to see, take it step by step. And then, you know, obviously, again, we're looking at ways to really kind of build family. And we talk a lot about Puma family at our site. And so we're off to a great start. We're excited about a great year, and there's more to come. And I just encourage you, and we thank again Superintendent Book and Shar, and also I think Laura came with as well and came by our campus, and it was just great to see. And so there's been a really good spirit, and we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. And from San Mateo High School, Yvonne Shu.
Good evening. Last but not least, a lot of the things that I had prepared have already come up, but we all know that the preparations for school starts way before the actual first day, and there's so much to prepare for so that we have a really smooth day. However, you know, this is my 16th year at San Mateo, and there's always something that goes wrong or glitches or whatnot. So no matter how much experience you have, you kind of go with the flow. And so I think a lot of my colleagues have done that over the years, and there are a lot of things that are just beyond our control. I want to do a lot of thank yous, because we would not be here if we did not have the support that we get on a daily basis. And so our operations crew for working around summer school, since there were so many construction projects at all of our other campuses. Summer school was housed at San Mateo, and thank you, Ron, for running summer school. They worked around the various vendors and different companies to get our summer projects done as well. It's nothing like getting brand new desks on the day before classes start to add to everything else that they have to do. But they were just remarkable. And so I want to thank Donna Huna and the operations crew. The week before school started, we had orientation and registration. And so I want to thank our activities director, Sarah Cowie, and our leadership students, and all of the student volunteers who went through a full day of training prior to inviting our freshmen back on campus. Then they spent the following day with our baby Bearcats and our new upperclassmen and welcoming them to our campus, where they participated in icebreakers, making them feel welcome, giving them tours, having a barbecue, and just being all around good humans. And so I appreciate them very much. As well as we had an army of parent volunteers on our campus and staff members, just, you know, helping out wherever they could, selling PE uniforms, giving out planners and lockers and, you know, everything. And so it really does take a village in terms of doing everything that we need to do. And so I am really, truly grateful for all the support that we get. This week, after the superintendent's welcome, we came back to campus and we took to heart a lot of the things that we had heard. And so it was very lighthearted in terms of just practicing being a community and icebreakers so that they could have the experience that we wanted to give our students the following day in terms of bringing back community and being able to interact with one another positively. And it certainly sounded like everyone had a very rejuvenating vacation. A lot of people traveled, especially after the 2-year hiatus. So lots of talking and laughing. I think Julia came in and was just like, wow, they're having, so much fun. And so it was exactly what we wanted for our students the following day. And so it's kind of interesting with the teacher workday. I kicked off my faculty meeting with in Lakesh and asking teachers, what you give is what you're going to get back. And so we really need to be conscious of, how we treat students, what we think about them, because they really do care. And the first thing they think, why should I care if you don't? And so we started with that, and it goes along with the golden rule and passages from the Bible. So it's just a good lesson to be learned. We also celebrated, shared, as well as cried because we had 2 of our teachers who have had 31 years in the district say they are retiring at the end of the school year. And so we have huge shoes to fill. And so it's our band director, Jill Trabuzzi, and Sarah Cowie, our activities director. And so we are, at least they told me now, and I have time to do a search. On our first day of school, kids were showing up at 7:30 in the morning and was like, no, school doesn't start till 8:30. And our 0 period students were showing up and we're like, you don't have your schedule yet. So how do you know you have 0 period? And so it was kind of calming all of the nerves because they were just so excited to be back on campus. Everyone pitched in to help direct traffic because obviously, students didn't know where to go, even upperclassmen, we create reg rooms and they have to find their name, but we don't teach this skill anymore where they look at, A through BA and they're like, my name isn't up there. And so we, don't teach kind of dictionary, skills or the telephone book skills anymore. And so we have to go through, what is your last name? What does it start with? Even for our seniors sometimes. So lots of things that we forget. It was really wonderful to see smiling faces with everybody pitching in. We were giving out Chromebooks, Yonder pouches. We actually had students online to get their Yonder pouches. And so they know, and a good thing out there in the community is I hear San Mateo, Foster City, all the middle schools are getting Yonder this year. So if anybody wants to implement Yonder, it's the time to do it next year. Unfortunately, I think the superintendent, Laura and Shar, came in the library right after we released students to go to first period. And so all the students that didn't have schedules were in the library. And so it was just like a madhouse in there. It was like looking up like, hi, I'm really busy right now. I've got to give out these schedules. And so thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you can come back when we are a little less crazed. Our cafeteria staff was amazing as well, ready to serve like 1,600 hungry teenagers. Our school counselors are amazing, working with new students and their families and making sure students got into classes. And so I'd say by like 3rd period, the line that is usually running down the hallway for counseling had disappeared. Even our wellness counselors were terrific in relieving anxiety for the first time high school students. I think the only thing that we probably could have done without is ending our first day with Eye of the Tiger playing on a loop while they tested out our PA system. That, teachers were like, came down to the office like, what is going on? I can't do any work because Eye of the Tiger. And Enrique, who's one of my teachers, probably was one of them around going, okay, enough of the song. So it is a work in progress. But today, as I walked the campus and took a peek into what we were doing, teachers were still doing community builders. I asked them this week not to do any content because students were still settling in, and I didn't want any students to feel like they had missed out on anything. And so they were doing a lot of classroom norms and talking about what rules they wanted to create for their classrooms. And so, you know, taking responsibilities and being citizenships, just lots of talking and interacting, especially when we are a cell phone free school. It's much louder because students are actually talking to each other and looking at each other instead of kind of head down. And so it's very easy on our campus to see who's on a cell phone when they shouldn't be. And so I am really proud to work with the San Mateo community to create a really welcoming environment. And we look forward to a very spirited and exciting school year as we celebrate 120 years. And so go Bearcats. Thank you for your support.
Just big thanks to all of our principals. Thank you so much. First day, awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Those are great. I think we can move on to next item is report of the District Teachers Association representative.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, President Hanley, members of the board and district cabinet. First, I'd like to just welcome everybody back and wish you all a happy new year, as we say in the teaching profession this time of year. It's always good to be back. And you never know, you never realize how much you miss the job until, you know, that first day in front of students. So I think I speak for all my members and all the teachers in the district that we're really excited to go back and move forward and help the kids really get back into the swing of things moving forward. I'd like to welcome specifically Superintendent Booker. I've enjoyed meeting and talking with him a couple of times, and I really did appreciate having the opportunity to meet outside with the entire staff. I think the first time that the entire staff was together in quite a long time, and having it outside really made it a joyous event to be there and talk and reconnect with colleagues in person. And of course, I'd like to welcome all and recognize all the new administrators, folks who have gotten promoted, and of course, all of our new teachers. I also attended the new teacher event on Monday, the 1st, met with a great group of teachers, one of the more enthusiastic groups that I've seen over the last 15 years that I've been doing this work. Especially in the beginning of the year, I always like to recognize all the work that has gone on to prepare the campuses, not only administrators and construction, but especially our classified brothers and sisters. I can't thank them enough for working so diligently. Mentioning construction, yeah, eye of the tiger. I've been here at Hillsdale this afternoon with a late meeting, and it's been it's probably, I think I'm on the 17th iteration of that with the PA system. Hillsdale's construction was quite delayed, and I know that the classified folks, the SPOEs and the maintenance group worked tirelessly over the weekend to get the schools ready for staff to be in there on Monday. So I really do appreciate that, and I've gotten similar reports from all the other sites. So thank you for that. And then lastly, I'll be brief tonight, but I just did want to take a page out of Trustee Hanley's book and talk a little bit about the current conditions that we're living under in terms of COVID. As he mentioned, we are at the highest risk level in our community. We are at the highest transmission level in our community. And we really owe it to our teachers, our staff, our students, especially, and our families to do everything we can to avoid any kind of deviation from the norm in getting kids back on track. The kids are hungry and ready to learn and ready to move forward and really get back into the swing of things. I would like to strongly recommend that the district seriously consider looking closely at its COVID protocols and trying to do what's best for the community and for the students and for the staff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next one is report of the CSEA Chapter 519 representative.
Hello and good evening. President Hanley, Superintendent Booker, members of the board, and everyone here tonight. I'm Jim Brock, our CSEA chapter president. Well, we made it to a new school year. Coming into this August, I didn't really know what to expect. With a lot of new classified members, as well as teachers, and with COVID cases still lingering in our community, I was concerned there would be a long adjustment period, but that was not the case. Instead, students and staff are extremely excited to be back. There's a hopeful spirit in the air that is, no pun intended, contagious. I left my first day back seeing smiling faces, kids excited to be present, teachers fully invested in the classroom experience, along with our classified staff helping with all facets of school preparation and interacting with our students. Everyone I talked to had the same thing to say. They're glad to be back, and it feels like a pre-pandemic start to the 2022 school year. CSEA would like to welcome Superintendent Booker. Your speech at PD Day was very inspirational, to say the least. It was elevating to learn more about your background and hear your why, what, and how. Your recognition of all staff as educators did not go unnoticed. Thank you. We are so excited to have you here at the San Mateo Union High School District and look forward to working with you. For those who may have missed Superintendent Booker's introduction on Monday, the takeaways I keep hearing from staff are pressing the reset button and having each other's back. It's a tone that I'm hoping all site administrators will continue to build off of, as a reminder that we are all educators building a better community and fostering for the continued growth of the students we serve. I'm so glad to be back, and thank you for your time. Good night and have a great Friday and weekend.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next is report of the San Mateo Adult School Teachers Association.
Yes, good evening. This is Jeannie Diamond. I'm the president of our teachers union at the adult school. Welcome. Thank you, President Hanley and the school and the board of trustees, and welcome to Superintendent Booker. We're starting our professional development on Monday, the 15th, and the adult school will be going through WASC this coming year. So we are going to be spending the rest of our professional development week next week getting prepared and doing all kind of prep work for WASC, as well as getting prep for our students coming back on August 22nd. We have a bunch of new and great career technical classes coming this fall. We have, they're doing ESL registration this week and next week, and I believe the week after, and that's going well. And we also have high school diploma programs, GED classes. We also have other classes as well. And we welcome you guys to come and see us on starting the week of the 22nd to see our classes. And thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. So we have no special reports and appearances this evening, and no construction reports. So let's move to Division of Human Resources, approval of personnel actions.
Yes, we have the approval of personnel actions and addendum with the recognition, belated recognition of Ellen Haworth, who retired effective December 13th, 2021.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So that is approved, 5-0. Item 2, N2, administrator manager salary schedule revisions. I'm not going to read all of that.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Dwyer, and was it trustee Zuniga?
Yes.
Was the second. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
Trustee Land.
Yes.
Trustee Dwyer.
Yes.
And I vote yes. N3, MOUs regarding health and welfare benefits.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer.
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that's approved. 5-0. Administrator contracts for health and welfare benefits revision.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay.
I think I need to read something out on this just briefly. You don't
Right.
mind? Yeah, it's for reference, the salary and health and welfare compensation terms for the district's non-represented administrator and classified manager positions are listed in the attached memo. The following is a verbal summary of the health and welfare compensation available to the district managers and administrators. And that is that each administrative manager will receive health and welfare benefits up to $27,897, transportation and cell phone reimbursements of $275 a month, various subscriptions and memberships, and reimbursements for approved district expenses.
Okay. So it was trustee Dwyer making the motion, trustee Land making the second. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so that's approved. Revision of administrator individual employment contracts.
Yeah, I have to read something here. too,
Right.
if
I
may.
move approval and then we'll.
Second.
Then you can go then.
Okay, you want me to read it or you read it?
If you don't mind, I can just read it.
Okay.
Okay, there were 6 individual employment contracts approved in June that contained oversights. This item corrects these. The compensation terms need to be verbally read out. Here we go. Each administrator will receive health and welfare benefits up to $27,897, transportation and cell phone reimbursements of $275 a month, various subscriptions and memberships and reimbursements for approved district expenses. These are the 6 contracts. Assistant Director Kira Mann, Assistant Director of Adult and Career Education, salary $175,202 for 221 work days. Assistant Principal Hillsville High School Brett Stevenson, salary $198,000, 764 for 214 work days. Associate Superintendent Chief Business Officer Yancey Hawkins, salary $264,290 for 221 work days. Director of Adult and Career Education Angela Taylor, salary $202,224 for 221 work days. Director of Budget and Fiscal Services Valerie Miller, salary $215,925, 221 work days. And Executive Director of Excel Corinne Holder Jackson, salary $161,642 for 221 work days.
Okay, so we have a motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
did we lose trustee Zuniga?
Yes.
Are you on mute?
No. Can you hear me now?
Court.
Can you hear me? Oh, no. Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Can you hear me okay?
Not hearing.
Pete,
Trustee Zuniga, I'm not hearing you.
yes.
He's trying.
Is there something on our end? It's on our end.
Oh, okay. Trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Can you text? Can you hear me okay? Hello? Text Charlene and say,
We could get her on the phone. We could put her on speakerphone and she could vote that way.
Say I voted.
Trustee Zuniga, try to vote again.
Yes,
There we go. We
Thank
heard you
you.
that time.
great.
Okay, so that's 5-0. Okay, N6, an MOU for Hillsdale High School Pilot Advisory Stipend for special education specialists.
I move approval.
I second.
Let her do it.
Okay, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Zuniga. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga?
Yes.
Yes, I heard that. Trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer?
Yes.
And I vote yes. That's approved 5-0. Job description for classified outreach coordinator.
Okay, this is, the district was approved for a state grant that will support all of our classified employees who seek to further their education with our grant partners, which are San Jose State University and the Marshall Teacher Residency Program. Our classified employees will be eligible for $4,200 annually for reimbursements to their classes. And in order to facilitate the process, the grant provides a classified position. This classified outreach coordinator position will be a stipend position of $12,000 and will assist with the recruitment and then the reimbursement for classified employees.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion by trustee Land, second by trustee Dwyer. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga?
Yes.
I heard that. Trustee Land?
Yes.
Trustee Dwyer?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that's approved 5-0. Instructional coach stipend.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin,
Yes.
trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Can I just say something really quick about all these HR documents? To those watching us, we received all of this information late last week. And so we've had ample opportunity to read everything, and we have read everything. I mean, I can say that, and I think my fellow trustees. So when we make motions to move ahead with things, it's based upon all of the work that we've already done in reading all the documents and preparing for this meeting. So I just want to make that clear, because the motions to approve are not cavalier. They're based upon good information that's been provided to us by the district. So thank you.
Yes, I was going to say something like that myself, so it's good you said that. Okay, N9, superintendent agreement for services.
I move approval.
Second, I just want to confirm these are the days extra in advance that he
Yes.
worked. So
Yes,
yeah.
the-
I
this
just
was-
wanted to confirm that. I was
This
like,
was the,
that's good.
this was the agreement that we
we worked on before.
we worked
Yes.
on before, when we agreed to hire Superintendent Booker.
So I will continue my second on that.
Okay. Yes, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga?
Yes.
Yes. Trustee Land?
Yes.
Trustee Dwyer?
Yes.
And I vote yes also. So that's approved 5-0. AB 1200 form approval, San Mateo Adult School.
The AB 1200 that was approved in June did not include the adult school. This one does, and it's for the agreed to raise on compensation and health and welfare benefits.
I move
Okay.
approval.
Second.
Okay.
You're quick.
Okay. Motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Zuniga. Trustee Griffin,
Yes.
trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer.
Yes.
And I vote yes also.
It'd be great if we could have some more volume on trustee Zuniga, but I don't want to rock the boat on that. I don't want to lose her, just requesting more volume. We can kind of hear her, so, okay.
Okay, approval of request for waiver submission. You might expand on that.
So there's two teachers that, so there's two teachers that aren't credentialed and we've done a thorough recruitment. One is our Italian teacher and they're not easy to come by. We've helped our former Italian teacher as well. And then she moved and now we're doing the same thing with the new one. And then the other one is a teacher at Aragon High School who is one of our classified recruits. She's been an employee at Aragon for like 16 years and a graduate of the school. Last year, you may recall, we didn't have any Pacific Islander teachers. This year we have 3. She's one of them, hopefully. But there were some work we have to do with her credentials. She's enrolled with San Francisco State, but as for the fall semester, she's not credentialed. We're going through this waiver process and hope to get her through the fall semester. San Francisco State will allow her to be an intern in the spring. So hopefully this is just a bridge to get us to the spring semester.
Okay,
I move approval.
Second.
okay, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin, how you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer,
Yes.
and I vote yes also. So 5-0 approval on that. And N12, HR assistant job description revisions.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Dwyer, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin,
Yes.
trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer.
Yes.
And I vote yes also. So 5-0 there. And we are complete with human resources for this evening. Nothing for Division of Instructional Services, Student Services, Business Services. Board Operations, we have one item to move the January board meeting date for the second meeting in January. From the 19th to the 26th. Correct. Any issue on that?
I'm looking.
I won't be here.
I won't be here either.
I'll be at home weeping.
I'm okay.
Trustee Zuniga, you should look at your calendar if you're not doing it.
Yeah, it's good with me.
And why are we changing?
Because there's only 1 week between board meetings.
Got it. So we're kind of spreading it out.
Spreading it out.
Oh, it's
I can
good-
do it.
It's
I can
good
do
for
it.
the administration to do something other than prepare for board meetings, right?
Right. 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, got it. I'm good.
Okay. Someone want to make a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Griffin, second by trustee Land. Trustee Griffin,
Yes.
trustee Zuniga,
Yes.
trustee Land,
Yes.
trustee Dwyer,
Yes.
and I vote yes also. So I believe we are at the end of the meeting.
F.
Requested board item.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Uh,
about S.
Yes,
Well, and
trustee Land.
thank you. So I think one of the requested board items that I would like to see, and we talked about it, was the retreat and having a
Mhm.
retreat for our board with the new superintendent to go over
Mhm.
goals.
Yeah.
I think that would be important.
Yes, I would like to, have a discussion of board goals for this year, so put that on upcoming agendas.
President Hanley, I have a couple requests. One of them is to have a conversation with Nancy McGee or have her present the information she has about Gateway. And then also student board reps, if we can start either at this next meeting or the meeting after, start talking about what we're going to do with that.
Gateway and student board reps.
Correct.
And I think we should go back to, we were going to update the logo by trying to change the insides of it to preserve the look of the circle that is so familiar to all of our communities. And I don't know, I think at one point, Ms. Chalkley had organized students to draw proposed designs, and maybe we could have students put together centers for the logo, so we could try that again to see if we could get a new logo, an updated logo. I can't read her reaction through her mask.
I can work with Ms. Chalkley and pull a team together to look at an
And
updated
I'd
logo.
be happy to participate
would
in
be
that.
great.
I did it before. I'd be interested in that.
I think that's a good idea. I wanted to go back to something that trustee Zuniga was talking about with
Gateway.
with Gateway. I know that we have been trying to talk to Sequoia and us and the county. I think it's important to have, I think the superintendent will have pre-dialogue, and then when it's ready, or at least we have some like a plan, I think it's important that we bring either Nancy McGee here from the county to talk to us about it. I think it'd be important.
And it'd be good to have an update on the wall that we were creating for, like a memorial wall that we had been talking about for significant contributions to the district, individuals who are no longer present. So it'd be good to have an update on that. That was in process. Linda Carlton was actually working with Ms. Chalkley on that. And they had some really good plans, but we just haven't completed the process.
I can let the board know that I've already met with Ms. McGee and Dr. Williams over at Sequoia to have kind of a data download about Gateway. I've also spoken to Don Scatena. And I think the plan right now is to put together a subcommittee to discuss it further with Sequoia County, myself, Don, and some others. I think there's some significant unpacking we need to do about how things have progressed to date. And we don't need to get into it tonight, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm in the mix, and I can come back and we can agendize this, and I can come back with some updates.
I think one of the things that might be good is like, give us in the report a timeline idea, because I think our concern in the past has been, at first we weren't part of the discussion. Now we want to be part of the discussion. That sounds great, but I'd like to see a timeline so that we are included into it.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Land.
Okay. I think we are complete with the agenda. So I'm going to adjourn the meeting for tonight.
Good to see a nice short
Don't get used to this. It's gonna